Hey everyone, I hope you're having an awesome day. Today I'm coming to you and, as promised, speaking about websites. Now, the reason why I am pivoting this week and talking about websites is because I'm being asked about them a lot. And so for me, that's a big sign that if there's half a dozen people asking about it, there's probably at least another 100 or so who are sitting there wondering about it at the same time. So as you come on, just say hi, hit the like button. If you're watching on the replay, please pop in #replay so I can come back in and answer any questions that you might have. So today, websites. Who needs a website? Put an emoji in if you need a website and put in the word that best describes what makes you feel. How does it make you feel when I talk about the word website? Because I have to say, I have created websites on many platforms. I have created them myself. I've outsourced them. I've done a joint venture of somebody helping me create a bit of structure and then I do it. There's actually a lot. I've probably put together a lot more websites than what I give myself credit for. So as far as like who could be talking about this sort of stuff, I feel like I'm pretty well qualified to speak about websites today, just when I think about my past history with them. So you've popped your emoji and you've told me what your emotion is about it. Now tell me what platform you're using. Do you use Wix? Do you use Squarespace? Do you use WordPress? Do you use something else? I'd love to know what platforms you're using today, because that really helps me give you really specific advice around the platform that you're using. So if I'm speaking about Squarespace, for example, I know that they're just about to bring out some really cool upgrades where there's going to be a members area, where there's going to be other bits and bobs that will be changed. And I actually pretty much, if I were to choose a platform, I would say that Squarespace for me is the better one that I've used, mainly because I like how clean and easy it is to add things and take things away. But then I have to say I've been using WordPress for my naturopathy website for a long time, and I really like how complex you can get within that. So, there's pros and cons to each one. If you're a beginner and you're doing your own, it's probably best to go with a Wix website because it is the easiest to drag and drop and change things around so that it looks the way that you want it to look. So I would suggest that number one, you get some photos done. Now, photos with a white shirt on is what is most important for most people's brands, because it helps you to stand out and it also helps you to be seen as a professional as well as someone who's personable. Because the most important thing is when somebody lands on your website, they want to know straight away, who are you and can you help them? And if you're not capturing them within the first 8 seconds, they're likely to click away. So what is it that they're landing on straight away, and what do they see and what do they read? And are they going to be attracted to the words that are on the screen, the picture that's on the screen? Is it too busy? Is it not busy enough? You want to really capture that within that first header that the person lands on. Hey Amanda. Now, straight underneath that, you want to make sure that you've got a call to action button, because a call to action encourages them to either make an appointment or to download your free PDF on whatever that might be, whatever your niche needs. It needs to be something that is actually quite valuable to them as well. Like, let's say that you serve busy mums. A pre-prep meal guide, is this going to serve her or is this going to stress her out? You need to go through all the different scenarios that the person who your niche, when they land on there, how are you going to serve them best? How are you going to make life easy for them, and how are you going to help solve their problems? These are the sorts of questions you need to keep answering as you're formulating your website. Because as they start scrolling down, you want to make sure that they're starting to get to know you. You want to make sure that your story is in there so that you're relatable. One part of my website, my naturopathy website, is my journey with adrenal fatigue and with thyroid things. And a lot of women will book in because they're like, I just think that you're going to get where I'm at with my thyroid, or I just think that you're going to get where I'm at as far as this adrenal fatigue is. Like, it's unrelenting. And they're a particular type of woman who's fairly similar to me, who tends to burn the candle at both ends, and I get where they're coming from. So there's like this relatability. You've got to be relatable. The other part being, yes, it's important to have your services on there, but just be brief with your services. You want to have plenty of white space because a lot of people are busy and they want to be able to scroll straight to the spot that speaks to them and is solving their problems, and you want to be able to step them through your website in a way that takes them on a journey. So in that next part, you want to talk about what sorts of things you do and what sorts of people you help and how you help them. And it doesn't need to be long-winded. Now, where you can take them from there might be a blog post that explains more. It might be more in-depth about your program that you've created that's really helping these women with adrenal fatigue. It might be more in-depth about how you've got a passion for children's health because your child had allergies when they were growing up. It might be something to do with IBS or digestive issues because that's your zone of genius. So whatever that is, you want to make sure that you're taking them from the homepage to a landing page that's more specific about the details around how they can be helped, how their problem can be solved, and why they need to book in with you because you're the one who knows the most and who can help them. So it's a really sort of simple exercise, but you need to take that idea of having a look at it from back here so that you can see all the parts. So whether you're somebody who likes to do things like a mind map or whether you actually need a lot of detail, it really doesn't matter, but you need to have a think about the journey. Like, you're stepping them along a path, and what sort of actions would you like them to take in order to take them to the button that says, I'm gonna book an appointment with this lady, or I'm gonna book an appointment with this practitioner because they sound like the one for me. So at each step of the way, I want you to keep answering that question. Is this solving their problem? Is this offering them the right thing of what they're actually looking for? Because you think about how you consume information. I am a skim reader. I don't want loads of busyness on a page. I click away from that. I'm actually more likely to listen to someone who's explaining their services as a video. Have you considered that? Have you considered uploading your About Me section into a YouTube video and just uploading that? And then people can literally get to hear what your voice sounds like. They can get to know like a bit of your story and a bit about how naturopathy or nutrition or whatever your modality is, they get to learn about how that works for them. Because I have to say, this year, this is one of the years where I've had the most amount of people who have never seen a naturopath before and have booked in. Yes, I still get lots of repeat clients, but since COVID, I would say there's been at least, getting upwards of about 30 new clients who have never seen a naturopath before. And so I've got to go through that spiel with every single one of them. So how good would it be, and this is just a thought that's run through my head, how good would it be to have in my confirmation email that goes out, okay, they've booked the appointment, now what happens? So you've got to think about, like, what's the process involved with them booking in, with them then having a series of messages or reminders or confirmations afterwards, and what are you going to put into that confirmation that's going to make them feel welcome, that's going to make them feel confident, and that's going to give them every piece of advice that they need within that setting so that they can walk in and feel ready for the consultation. Because the people who came in, who maybe I hadn't realised that they were new to naturopathy, I didn't say anything to them about how a naturopath works until they were actually in the clinic room with me. And it would have probably saved the first 10 minutes of the consult-ish to be able to give them that information before they came in so they knew what they were expecting. So how can you frame up those expectations for your clients? How can you explain things in a really, really clear way so that there are no assumptions being made? I would also suggest that you have in there somewhere, and this is like for your future sustainability of your business. My suggestion would be saying something like, how long does it take? Because And this isn't just like, an hour for your initial appointment. This is like, how long does it take, as in like, people want to know how long is it going to take for their skin to heal, or how long is it going to take for her to stop feeling like she's got PMS every month, or how long is it going to take for her to stop having diarrhea. You want to find these things out. And so you could give them a really clear indication of, all right, so usually by the time I get to the third appointment, people are feeling so much better. They're 50% better. And I'm just making this up, but you could have a look at your clients and how many times they often see you. And then you can create a package to say, look, I offer a 3-consult package because this is usually how long it takes for someone to have a really good result. So you're framing up an expectation that they realize that it's not a one size fits all method. They're not just going to get a result in that first consult. They will probably, but it's not just about the first consult. I want you to think about the longevity of what is your website framing up for the entirety of your business. What else is it linking to? Do you have podcast episodes that you've been on someone else's website? Can you get a backlink to their website? Do you have you been in the paper? Is there a link to that online? Have you been featured somewhere else? Like, have you written an article for somebody else's blog? Can you have a link back to your website there? There are so many aspects of a website. Literally, I could stay here and talk all day about it, but I'm not going to. But I really want you to stop and mind map and have a think about how it's going to fit in with your ideal person who you'd like to see this week or next week, whenever it is, when you're ready to see them. Because you want them to land on your website and take the action that you want them to take. But you also want them to feel safe and have really good expectations of how the journey is going to happen. So I hope this has been really helpful. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will speak with you all soon.